shorter video. Better be a much shorter video. This should be a much shorter video. It's all right. Let's see. We should be live now. But let's give it a second. Is it still loading? Okay. All right. So this should be a much shorter video. But I do want to go through script study and effective role playing because keep in mind, I mean, people that are watching this, you should be. I mean, this could be for anybody, by the way, too, because the amount of people that I see come in and have a tough time with this, it's wild. It's wild, and it's not just new people. I feel like there's like any job, there's a learning curve. I mean, think about it. My mother, she's a teacher. She has to go back and do classes, every once in a while to keep up with stuff. Doctors, I'm sure, lawyers got to keep up with law. We should be keeping up with our craft at all times. You know what I'm saying? And this is our craft. This is a talent-based job. With any talent-based job, you need to keep up with it, right? If I'm an actor, actress that has not played in a movie for a long time, then I probably need some training, right? I thought of about 1,000 jokes right there that I did not make, but I'm just going to say they would have been funny. A lot of them had to do with like Nicolas Cage and people like that. Who's that other guy that's a terrible actor? Him, but there's the other guy that stopped acting now because he was so mentally insane. Die Hard.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah, yep. The same guy in every movie. That guy doesn't need practice, so I'll tell you that. But you need practice to do your craft. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important here. And so this is just like anything else, but practicing in a way that's going to actually give you benefit, that's going to be advantageous to you, is super important. If you're someone that's been here for 6 months, just reading the script in your head for 6 hours is not going to help you do anything. It's not going to help at all. You know what I'm saying? The first thing is that everything in this job, every kind of studying, everything should be systematic. So everything should be systematic. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, you should have a laid out plan that you can commit to, and it should involve layers to see you to success. I know it's like a long definition, but that's everything should be systematic. If I go, hey, I need to go lose weight, I need to go I want to get in better shape. I don't just go do leg day every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to help me out. I don't just diet. Okay. If I just diet, my results are going to be weird, right? I'm not just do that. I'm not only going to work out my chest. You know what I'm saying? This would be weird. We should all do that. We should all pick one body part and just all go work out one body part. See what happens. That'd be interesting. So you're in order to have an effective training, you need to have multiple. You need to be hitting multiple different muscles, and this is the same way when it comes to script test and script study. Same exact thing. So everything has to be systematic. All right. Now, how long you've been here, or how much experience you have, should play into this to an extent. Meaning, if you are someone, if you've been here for longer, or have more experience, you should rely a lot more on real role play, like actual role playing. And I'll define that in a second. Okay. If you have less experience, you're probably mixing your role play with script studying and stuff like that. Okay. So there's different effective techniques and things that you can do, but you're what you're doing is probably based on how long you've been here. Everyone should study. The first question that we really should answer is, who is this for? Everyone. There's not a person in here, including myself, that should not go and refresh on this. So one thing is, it's a great example is that for me, is because I'm not doing the in-office training anymore, right? I did for years. So the script is very much in my head because for years I would have to go through it and repeat. I am losing some of the rebuttals right now. I can tell. Like I don't know certain rebuttals. There's things I also don't use out there that I should still know as a manager here and just as an effective employee here, certain rebuttal that I just don't use that often that I should still know. Okay. Though that would be important. Okay. Now, what's a proper way to do this? Okay, so let's define these different things. I'm going to say a script study first. All right, so this should be done. It should be word for word studying of the script. It's not your note cards. It's exact verbiage of script. Okay, that's what you should be studying when you're studying a script. When you're doing a script study. Your goal should be to hit different muscles as you would in physical training. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is just going to give a little list here. Reading the script in your head. Okay. So doing it personally to yourself, just reading it in your head, that's an important way to do it. Okay. I know it's probably the easiest way just to pick it up and do that. Okay. Next would be reading it out loud. Or reading it out loud in a mirror. Now, I think that reading it out loud, great. That's important. Reading it out loud in a mirror, you visualizing yourself saying it. That's the one study technique that I would say, no matter how long you've been here, you should always do. If you really want to be good at this, that's the video I'm doing next, by the way, too, is what the benefit is of this job, why this job is important. That's what I was going to make the video on that I missed. But this is important because you might go, well, why am I getting good at this craft? What's the point in getting good at this craft? And I'm gonna break it down for you guys, why it's an important job. And I'm gonna get very personal with it too, with myself. So reading it out loud or in the mirror, that's important. If you've been here for a while, reading it in the mirror, you've got to visualize yourself saying it. You want to be able to, it gives you sort of a third person perspective when you're doing it. Okay. Exact recordings and listening. What I mean by that is record the script or have somebody else do it for you, word for word. Okay. And then listen to that over and over and over again. And this is a great, you don't have time to script study and stuff like that. You're going to the grocery store. You pop some headphones in, you can listen to it over and over again. Okay. Say it a bunch of different times. Say it in tones. Is important. Okay. So exact recording and listening is a good script study as well. And then writing is a way that people do. I think that it can be important, especially for new people. I'm not going to be caught writing the script out, you know what I'm saying, as a thing, but some people, that's just how they learn. Some people, it's still very important for them. But writing the script, I think, is effective for people that just started. But look, you're not going to write it out to the customer, so I think it's, but it's still there. It's still important. A lot of people like to memorize that way. Okay, so memorization is the key with this. Fine. So if I'm going to create a program for myself, which I will, and it's going to include some of these different elements. Okay, so that's script study. Okay, last is reading with others. Okay, or with a partner. All right, and this is important too. They read it to you, you read it to them. They read it to you, you read it to them. Okay, now breaking the script into smaller parts is effective even if you have been here for a long time. Okay, that's effective. I'm going to go over why when I kind of tie this all together. Okay, I'm going to come up with a program. If I'm here, it doesn't matter how long. If I started here, program that I can do, it's going to me really, really good at this job. I'm going to go through at the end of this. I mean, really good. Like, this is how I got good at the job. It's going to make you really, really good at the job. Okay. So breaking the script into smaller parts can be effective. Even if you've been here for a long time. Trying to think if there's any more notes on script study. Am I missing anything on just straight studying the script? Okay. And then role playing is the next part. Pick a costume first. That's the point. I'm just kidding. Seth actually is like he's writing it down, you know, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I've been missing that part for a long time."
Hey, Paul. So for the script study, there's actually one more thing. I mean, it could probably go into breaking the script into smaller parts, but also learning the psychology behind on why we actually use certain verbiage throughout it.
Pause on that. Pause on that because I'm going to go through that. Actually, that's a good point. Very good point. But I'm going to put that separate.
Okay.
But very, very good point. That's what when I said when we put this program together, that's an important part of it. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great point. That's a great point. Why we use the script? I would put that separate from script study because this is memorization. But yes, I think having confidence in using your script effectively is extremely important. And it's what gives the job life. I 100% agree, absolutely. But if I forget that by the end of this, please make sure you bring it up again. That's a very important part. So role playing can take on different there's different types of roles, okay. So role playing, first of all, there's script testing, there's like BS role playing, which is fine for practice, by the way, too. We'll go over that. And then there's role play, okay, and we'll go through that. Okay, so script test role playing, okay, like practice. I'm going to go through that first. And that's, by the way, too, I make it sound like it's not important. It still is important. We'll do in the vans oftentimes. Okay. I'm just going to put that here. We often do in the vans. It has its place. It's like, it's more relaxed. You know, people aren't being as hard on each other. There's a lot of just, yeah, not interested. Yeah, can't afford it. Stuff like that. Very basic. Simple rebuttals. Really doesn't teach things. It really doesn't teach you anything. But it's effective mainly for preparation for the day. Like it's good to be able to practice, like get those muscles moving. I still think it plays a role, but it's definitely not the most effective kind of role playing that we have. Okay. Then there's script testing. Now, what's the difference? Well, script testing is definitely, it's high pressure. You want to be getting through the script. Like it shouldn't be, you know, you don't want to be, you're the person that's script testing you, okay? Should always give you one or two ways to get through the wall. You know what I'm saying? The person that's script testing you should always give you one or two ways to get through it, meaning that they can cut you off and whatnot. Your intent is to get done that appointment. The person that's script testing you, their intention is to not let you through unless you do certain things. Because the reality is when you're out there with the customer, okay, so this is like very real. This should be very real. And you should work for it. Now, said there's different forms of this. Okay, if initial script test, I get it. It's going to be easier. Okay, so I'm going to put this note too because this is something that, as a caveat, initial script test, or I should say, for that are we'll call it rookies, should be a lot more basic, and the intent is to see the script and rebuttals. Okay, so script testing can be different. Okay, script testing can be different. And I'll go through when we put together this program here that I'm speaking of. There's two different forms here. They both have their, but you should have to work for that appointment. You should have to rebuttal. Okay, script testing. I want to put this here too. It is not a script test unless it is recorded and comes with notations. Okay. So there's different ways to do this. My favorite way, if I have an employee that is like working with me, my favorite way to sit down and like really dig in script testing is to get a copy of the script, okay, and rebuttals, but to get a copy of the script is to record the person, okay, to write my notes while they're going through their initial thing. I'll write like a separate notebook paper, all right, then I'll go through that with them and I'll notate the script copy with mistakes I saw, what issues I saw, and whatnot. So now when I'm handing that to you, employee, I'm giving you a recording. I'm recording what I'm saying back to you, the notes that I'm giving you, and I'm writing them on a script for you. There's no excuses. You can't go, oh, I forgot about this or I forgot about that. It's extremely thorough, okay? Extremely thorough, okay? So most script tests should be extremely thorough and thought out. If I'm script testing you, then there's probably some sort of result tied to the end of it, right? I am exiting you from training. I'm entering you into training. I'm terminating you. I am putting on a PDP, right? I mean, there's a number of different things, but I'm not just doing it for fun. Typically, that would be role playing. If I'm script testing you, there's some sort of implication behind it. And so I need to make sure that I'm extremely thorough in the way that I'm acting with this. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, what I consider role playing is real life, like, that's a better way to put that. Real life. What was the it's like real experience pitching. Like it's like you're going to get a real experience from it. If there's a better word for this too, then let me know. So it's like real experience pitching should reflect what we see day to day. I'm going to put a couple notes here. Not all role plays should end in an appointment. Okay, so not all role plays should end in an appointment. I'm going to cut people off. Sometimes it's going to be pretty brutal. Okay. I should be giving more real objections like no time, kids, vacation, whatever. Like I'm actually giving you a real thing. Had to do my deck over. You know what I'm saying? Just moved in and need a furnace. I just got laid off from my job. Okay. Like real situations should come up, things that you ran into. Okay. A good way to do this, a great way to do this is have the opposite person give experiences they had the prior day. And I see North do this. I haven't seen it in a while. But whenever I was up there, man, I used to see this every time I was up there, every day. And no one needed to say a damn thing. Seth would not need to say a damn thing at all. People would just come in. They go, hey, you want to role play? And I would hear somebody say, yeah, this is what I ran into yesterday. I ran into boom, 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 boom. Okay. I play customer. All right. The person that didn't run into this stuff, I'm going to give them those experiences back. I'm going to say, okay, yeah, no, look, I just did my roof. Maybe that stopped me the prior day. And I want to hear how this guy's going to do it. Okay. And I would actually think switching back and forth is an effective way to do that too. Like just showing each other real time how they would go about doing this. Okay. And recording is important, but don't expect it all the time. What I mean by that is that this is something that should be done daily. So it's not I don't expect people to fill up their phones with 40 hours of recordings of role playing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. So let me just plug my mouse over here because I'm gonna get to typing some here in a second. All right. So I want to be good at this job. I want a program that's going to work for me. I've been here for a short while. I know my script and stuff like that, but I definitely have concerns in my production. Okay. I'm just going to make a quick program. Okay. And I'm going to try to make this, put this all together for people as well. All right. So I'm going to call it Paul's monthly script regiment. Okay, that's going to be the name of my program here. Okay. And I'm going to say week 1. I want to get more intensive. So week 1, I'm going to study the script for 1 hour per day. That's a lot. 1 hour per day. Maybe I should say this. Maybe I'm just going to go for 1 hour per day. I'm really being aggressive here in week 1. 1 hour per day. Okay. And I'm going to just look at my script testing ways here, or my script study ways rather. I'm in the beginning. First I'm going to do this in my head in the morning. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to read script in my head for 20 minutes in the morning. And by the way, too, I'm just going to make this a caveat. I'm going to say 6 days, okay, for the week. All right. So I'm going to lay that out clear for myself, too. All right. I'm going to listen to my recordings on way into work. We'll say that's going to be 20 minutes as well. And then I'm going to, when I get to the office, read my script out loud for 20 minutes. Okay, so that's going to be my regiment daily for week 1. Okay, for my script studying. All right. Then I'm going to find myself a partner. If I can't find a partner, I'm going to have my manager find one with me. Okay, find one for me. And my role playing, because it involves other people, I'm going to do a half hour per day for 5 days. Okay, just because maybe I can't find somebody every day. I want to be reasonable as well. Okay. And I'm going to mainly focus on, I'm not going to do a lot of the BS role playing. I'm going to do my where are we at? I'm gonna do it with people. So I'm gonna do my real role play. Find a partner or team lead and go down to the showroom doors. Or, if it's up in, I'm going to use one of the doors there, whatever, to make it as real. I'm going to go down to the showroom doors, and I'm going to also use scenarios I ran into prior to work my way through this. Okay, I'm going to go half per day, half hour per day. All right. And then as far as script testing goes, I am going to this is not working. not working. It's driving me crazy. All right, I guess if I just change this, then there we go. Oh, all right. So my script testing, I'm gonna have my team lead script test me 2 times in week 1. Monday and Friday. Okay. So then script test me week 1. Okay, then other notes. I'm going to make a special effort, make an effort to get involved in the van on my way out to territory. By the way, too, this script testing should be done every day. Like the not the script testing, the role playing should be done. The BS role playing, like I said in the vans, should be done every day. Just practice every day, every single day for more than half the ride. If your manager is not doing that, you need to breathe down their ass or come to me. That's more weird, I guess. But yeah. You need to really tell them like it's not the right way to do the job. Got every single day. Okay, so I'm going to make an effort to do that. Okay, week 2 is going to be reflective of the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to go through in week 2. Now I got to make sure I can commit to this stuff too. So don't do it if you can't commit to it. Like that's the thing. Don't do it if you can't commit to it. But I'm telling you right now, there's a huge benefit, and I'm going to go through that in a separate video. I'm going to do my study the script for 1 hour per day still, but I'm going to do that for 5 days. Okay. I'm going to do the same exact thing. All right, but I'm going to leave my Saturdays free now. I'm still going to do my role playing for half hour per day. I'm going to have my script testing the same. Everything else is going to be the same week 2. Okay, week 3. I'm going to cut that script study down to a half hour per day, 5 days per week. And I'm going to read the script in my head. I'm going to eliminate that. I'm just going to listen to my script in the car. And I'm going to read my script out loud for 20 minutes. I'm going to change that to 10 minutes. My drive time is not going to stop. So I'm going to just do for a half hour per day, 5 days a week. My role playing, I want to stabilize what I'm doing. Maybe and too. You might go, why am I going to work less? That doesn't make any sense. Fair enough. Keep doing it then. Keep doing it. Go ahead. Or maybe you're transitioning to doing more callbacks, things like that. I don't assume that you're not working as much. I just assume that maybe you can focus on other things. Maybe in the morning times, you're reading an effective book, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm gonna go through in the next video a list of those that just a couple start to read if you're interested in that in the next video. Okay, so role playing for a half hour per day. I'm gonna do that 3 days per week now. Okay, my script testing, I'm going to have my team lead script test me 1 time on Wednesday. I said week 1 all these. So 1 time on Wednesday. Make my effort to get involved in. Okay. And then finally, week sort of my graduation week for myself. I can't cut my studying down too much more, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm actually going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this, mix with reading and Mirror at home. Good. I'm going to mix it up a little bit for myself, just kind of keep it fun when it comes to my reading the script out, my role playing. I'm not going to cut that down, okay, but I'm going to make 1 note here. Get more involved as the customer. Maybe even extend my times. So I might even do this for longer per day, but I'm going to get more involved as a customer by week 4 because this is something to be learned about that too, by the way. When you hear other people do it to you and you're the customer, then you still learn. You learn from their experiences and what they're saying too. So there's a benefit to that as well. Okay. I'm going to go for my script test. I'm going to make an effort in the van. All right. So as I'm going through this stuff now, all right, I'm going to hopefully be better and better at the job as I go through this. And now look at it. Week 4, by the way, too, I should find some sort of stable balance. I don't want to just stop studying this. Okay. So Nate, maybe by the end of it, by the 2, I'm going to do this one more time. And I'm going to clean this up too, by the way. So that way it fits. Appreciate you not do that when I'm in training. Thanks. So you're kind of like an old guy. You can't control your bodily functions. I get it. No, Seth, I'm not talking about you. All right. Here, I'm gonna this up big time after. So, all right. So, I'm just gonna call it just like I'm stabilizing myself now. By the way, too, and I want to make sure that I'm still doing something every day. So maybe what I do is I'm gonna commit to doing this for 3 days per week. Okay, for a half hour. I'm still listening to my recordings on my way into work. But you know what? Maybe I like music too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to do this for some days. Okay. And then I'm going to read my script out loud and I'm going to mix it up. My role playing, I'm still going to do 3 days per week. You know, maybe I cut that down to 2 days per week. Maybe I'm doing callback. That's fine. And maybe I should have my script testing done, you know, I'm going to say have my team lead script test me at least 2 times per month, especially after a rough day where I don't hit goal. Okay. All right. I'm going to get more involved in the van. Okay. Here's the caveat to myself. This is what you got to commit to more than anything is I will double up any week I don't hit my goal. Any week I don't hit my goal, I'm going to discipline myself to double up on everything. So that's going to look like I'm going to come in for I'm going to go back to 1 hour per day. I'm going to go back to 6 days per week. I'm going to go back to role playing at least 4 days, 5 days a week with people at the doors. I'm going to go back to getting my script test done twice a week. I'm going to do that until I'm back at my goal and I stabilize myself. Is discipline, guys. Discipline. Coming up with a program for yourself. Now, I know most people aren't going to do this, not to this extent. This is how you will get to be a superstar at the job. Okay. Now, the one thing that wasn't talked about, and this is something that should go into program. Okay. And you know, here's the thing: is the reason why I didn't put it specifically in that training program is it's got to be done. It should be in group sessions. Okay. No important study. Put down diving into the reasons behind our script and rebuttals with the intent to continue to understand how the system works and why it is effective. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is that one of the most exciting things in my career is to be able to sit down with people like the New Jersey people the other week and say, this is why we do what we do. Okay. So for example, I'm just going to go through as an example, the advanced rebuttaling. Okay. Which is essentially responding in a positive way to customers' objections with the intent to move on in the script. Okay, so that's like what advanced rebuttaling, that's the point of it. The point is when a customer says I'm not interested, I'm not saying, well, I didn't expect to catch you on the day that you're ready to replace your windows. I'm going to say, that's all right, sir. I just want to explain why I'm here. That's all right, sir. The reason why I'm here is X, Y, Z. Okay, sir. Before I go, may I make a suggestion? Right? I'm moving through the script more effectively. I'm studying the psychology behind that. Why do we do the hard close? Okay, what is and why do we do a hard close? Okay, things like that, the psychology behind the script. Okay, what I believe Trevor had referenced. This stuff is important, especially for your confidence in the script. Okay, and this is stuff, by the way, too. A great way to do this is switch it up by going through this in the van once every 2 weeks, breaking it down once every 2 weeks. You know, stuff like that. Can you just real quick check Steve? So just make sure there's enough people in front. Okay. All right. Any questions on that? It's a longer video. It's good. It's good for the script training and stuff like that. So any questions? Anything?